Part 5, Living in the Now. 1. Mud, 1941 through 1942. Mud. I always hated mud. The dusty side street that my father's shoe repair window opened onto turned into a swamp even a light spring shower. Most kids will love that kind of thing, I guess. Heck, I saw them with my own eyes, the neighborhood kids my age playing in the mud, throwing fistfuls at one another, like melting chocolate snowballs. The mud could get so thick and dark, almost oozing black. Nothing about it appealed to me as a kid. If that's contempted only admitted as I got older. Because I tell you, you'll recognize a man of my generation by his distaste for mud. I might have been there in person, but I saw Walter's photos. I heard the stories of my peers. I know the friends I made long ago at the single crypts were deep beneath the fields in France, their graves carved out by their own bodies sinking beneath the wet ground. You know, I like my Shakespeare, and his king, Richard II, has a perfect description for this. The small model of a barren earth would serve as the paste and cover to our bones. Paste? A thick, unforgiving paste. So it was that trembling through meadowlands with arch. On the cold March day last year, the mud oozing around my boots. I found myself more elated than usual. They said you can never go home again. I always said, what will you want to? The past is the past for a reason behind us, and this saying is made all the more true when you grow up in New Jersey. So let me tell you, no one is quite so surprised as I've been in the last year that I've been spending so much time with the laid back on home term, staring across the vast, undeveloped farmland and feeling that drawn deep in the gut, that painful, glorious excitement about the future by staring at the horizon of my past, the illusion of living, but the reality of death, I said. Art, as he usually does, gave me a look. He doesn't always understand my meanings right when I have to say, but he gets it there in the end. Well, that is the sentence, he said, and I laughed, the cold air freezing in the tight tubs as I did. Here we are, on the freehold greatest achievement, I continued. At the beginning of truly accomplishing the ultimate illusion of living, and yet here I am thinking about the death. You don't think about the death often, said Arch. He understands me well enough to know that. Death isn't the end. It's just a chapter of life. I have no problem with it. I am wondering now, where does it belong in my philosophy? This was, of course, a rhetorical question, and there was no way Arch could answer it. He was and is a highly talented man, but there are limits for everyone. In this, Joey judge me? As I hope to prove very soon. Joey is an amusement park. There it is, a full picture of his tale to an imperfect sketch of an idea, an amusement park. Arch, of course, found the idea brilliant, as most people do with my ideas, but for him, it was money-making, richer, something to expand an empire. I was not the main interest in being Napoleon. Quite frankly, I was interested in being God. Ha! I know, a conscious thing to say, but I have no other way of putting it. While my peers all aim for growth and money and expansion, these to me are necessary evils in order to truly capture my deepest goals, to truly change the world and how to see it. If it isn't godlike, then I don't know what is. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a mortal man, but some mortals leave behind immortal. They create a legend is beyond just a grid of the everyday existence, beyond just a pace and covered. They are elevated, they float, they arise to the heavens. No farther distance can be found from the mud below. If the earth is the beginning, heaven is the destination. But what is heaven? The afterlife, or the life that exists after? You see how my doubts go. You see how complicated they are. This is why when Arch talk about amusement parks, my stomach clenches and my jaw gets tight. But also why I don't reply with anything other than, of course. Some things are not worth the time to explain. Though I hope he understands why he reads this book. I do.